I'm Paolo Selva. I'm the head of software engineering at Weta Digital, and I'm here at the View conference.
In addition to all the performance capture and things you guys did at Weta, you also had worked on the original Avatar, right? And that opened up a whole slew of things. But that movie itself, even though they're working on new ones, is still pretty old today. How have you seen that stuff accelerate out there in the landscape in terms of technology?
The technology has evolved a lot, but what we have done on Avatar, I guess that thanks to the vision that Joe Letteri had at the time, and also what James Cameron was actually wanted to see on the movie, we pushed to the limits like everything that we had at the time. So if you look at Avatar today, it still looks like a movie that could come out those days. But the technology that we improved, it's actually improving not just the quality, but it's also improving the workaround. Sorry, the workflows for the artists. Like it's making all of the process easier in a way that we could just speed up the process, and instead of taking say 5 years, it could take 1 year or less. So quality was good. We improved the workflows over the years, and we're still improving the quality for all of that. But I think it's still a very good looking movie nowadays, and it could really challenge a lot of other movies if it goes out for the Oscar today.
What excites you when you look at the future of where things are heading?
I think it's the the challenging of what we need to do and not knowing how to do it. It's that part that it's kind of if there is something that is the unknown, it's always interesting for people because it's the unknown and you want to explore it and see how to do it. So there are definitely fields that we should look into to see, how we can use some of the recent technologies that we see all around. Everywhere now they talk about VR and machine learning and all of that. So the thing is how can you combine some of that with a VFX production pipeline? Is it actually worth doing it? It's all of those questions that to me it's interesting because it's challenging, and we're here to solve problems for a VFX production pipeline. So whatever we can do to just make the whole process easier for the artist, we're here to do.
And the last thing, at the same time that you guys have been pushing performance capture and technology, the video game industry has been over there doing its own thing. How do you feel the two industries push each other forward?
It's interesting because sometimes even on the motion capture stage, you want to get all of the real-time feedback and all of the way of describing the action if you were doing it on a video game. You want to move the characters, you want to just interact with the plants, and there is kind of a really video game approach on stage, and I think that that's the direction where it's probably heading towards the video games approach, where video games are more and more used, or actually game engines are more and more used also on that stage production pipeline and by various companies. But I also see that there is a lot of for the cinematics on the video games, there is a lot of converging towards the VFX industry that is quite good renders and high quality renders just for the cinematics in between the video games. Getting the quality that you can see on a movie, it is getting there. I remember very old video games where you were just waiting for the cinematic because it was great. It was oh my god, look at that, I want to do that. But now all of the games, even if it's 3/4 view games with pixelated 8-bit style games, if there is a cinematic, it's movie standard. It's not just a 8-bit standard.